Good evening everyone, and welcome back to Chaosville here with your Master of Horror in the remains of our latest build. So, the Evil Dead cabin is complete. That means we need to go and find a new location, and that means we need to go and find it, because I have almost no idea where to put this next build. Which means we're going to have to discuss that next build and exactly the kind of location that it takes, that the particular venue takes place in, and all sorts. So, I know I've mentioned this before, the next build is the well featured in The Ring, specifically The Ring Goo, which is to say the original 3 Japanese movies that centered around the Koji Suzuki novel, The Ring, and probably very much not the American adaptations, because they kind of suck by comparison. So, we are looking for a forested area, preferably one that's not too densely forested, because we kind of need to deforest it a little bit so that it's sort of sparse and the trees are dead, and it's a place that's been distinctly inhabited at one point but then abandoned. And I think the location that we are probably going to go with is a witchwood forest, because the trees there have gotten a little bit of an overhaul with a recent texture update, so they look a little bit, they look quite a bit more dead. And they are sufficiently dense that it qualifies as a forest, but not dense enough that it's hard to move through in most cases, so it works quite nicely. And let's see, I have Opus on at the moment, so we can get a nice overhead view. So I definitely don't want a taiga biome, because there's lots of snow. And just while I'm flying around, if you don't know the story of The Ring, it basically centers around a singular character called Sadako in the originals and Samara in the American adaptations. And she is a girl who, for whatever reason, is very horribly abused and is thrown down into a well where she is sealed there and left to rot and die. Many years later, and for means that are not entirely understood, a videotape turns up. We're talking old VHS recorder kind of tape, because this is a fairly old series, and oh, that would appear to be the Delta Squid guys. A videotape occurs showing some bizarre imagery, but also featuring a look at a well from which a young, dress-clothed girl exits and crawls towards the screen. You then ominously receive a phone call stating that you will die in 7 days. And so over the course of those 7 days, as you live out your final moments, you see some strange things out of the corner of your eye, some small strange odd events start to happen, and on the 7th day, your TV turns on, the tape is playing again, despite your intervention to cause otherwise. And the girl crawls directly out of the screen, and you pretty much die of a heart attack. You literally die of fright. Ooh, here we are. Yeah, that looks very nice. Yeah, the Witchwood looks a lot different, which means various parts of the cabin now look quite a bit different as a consequence of this texture pack update, which includes Ars Magica. So let's see if I just type in that. You can see that a lot of things are now pentagonal, so there's the Findale that we grabbed last time and all sorts, and there's the Witchwood. It's a lot darker now. It looks a lot more evil, I grant you, but yeah, things have a texture now that didn't before. And we also have textures for the Carpenter's blocks, so if I just pull those up, yeah, you can see they're a lot smoother now. Very nice. Okay, so this Witchwood forest looks pretty nice, and there does not appear to be anyone in the immediate vicinity, at least, that is inhabiting this area. Well, there's some taint up in that north section that might be problematic. Let's fly up here, because I know Nifty is probably around this area. Ooh, look at that. It's glowing now. I don't recall it glowing. Let's see, you've got plenty of sand here. Ooh, it's how tremendously appropriate it is, and a lunar eclipse tonight. Okay, so here is the Oilfields Desert, which means we're probably somewhere near the jungle that Mr. Strife is inhabiting. let's go pop over to Nipty, see what he's doing. Just since we have the time. So yeah, we're probably going to find a witchwood forest. Possibly that one, unless the taint is deemed to be too excessive. Oh, there's another one, conveniently. I think this is the one that's actually next to Nipty's place. And what do we have in the middle here? Oh, are we just seeing a greatwood tree? Interesting. So we need a reasonably forested area that's dark and ideally has lots of room for canopy to give darkness for mobs to spawn and such, similar to the problem that Shin and Nugget have been experiencing in their videos. This place looks quite nice as well, actually. We could almost put it right here in the middle of those 3 greatwood trees as a sort of marker. That'd be handy. And within that clearing we need to put a well going deep down in the ground where the majority of our builds are going to be focused. Because we can't really build the VHS recorder, and we can't have people do stuff that summons stuff that kills them of fright. But we can bring them to the well, and what I'm thinking is that the well will serve a utility purpose as a sort of mob arena. So what is this brownish thing over here? Is that a house of some kind? Or a quad tree? Oh no, it's just underground biomes showing up. Let me see if I remember correctly. It should be this way. Into the lake. Yeah, lots of kelp. How high am I flying? Oh, it's level 107. Ah yes, and here comes the island, which has something off to the side there I don't recognize. Oh, it's this berry farm. A berry farm on the tiny little island to the side. And oh boy, that is just overrun with the glintweed that he's borrowed from me. Yeah, but his island is looking really nice. He is doing videos, he's just a little bit slow on it. Yeah, he's been focusing on a lot of, like, architecture. But hey, we might be neighbours soon. And ooh, is that a... that looks to be a big volcano. Is it a big volcano? It's a big volcano. So oh, I think I know this one. Yep, there's a sign on top. What are we saying? What are you going to tell me, sign? This volcano, property of Strife Solutions. Ah, yes. Nipty's nearest neighbour in the jungle to the east is William Strife and Mr. Parvis, one of whom still has a grave by my old cabin. Right, so I think we'll probably go here. It's fairly large. We're reasonably far. We can be reasonably far enough away from Nipty's to avoid any trouble there. And there is that taint to the north, but I think this area will be okay. So let's see if we can pick out a location, and I shall mark it on the map such that we might return forthwith. And ooh, there's an essence pool down there. Okay, so around about here, maybe? Not sure. This seems a little too close to Nipty, so let's head further south. Oh, I love having this enchanted ring. It makes flying around so easy. Hey. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to be turning it into a sort of convenient mob arena, so that people can come along and face demons, withers, and all sorts at the bottom of the well. And I can actually wire it. Is that a henge I'm seeing in there? There's a henge just at the bottom. Yeah, I know my face cam is covering the actual map, but I can see it perfectly here, so... oh, it is! It's a henge! Oh, it's a witchcraft hens. Okay, let's take a look at this, then. I don't have my Arfana on me, but we don't need another witch's hand. Ooh. Perhaps we can preserve this, I don't know. Just stick those there. Has it been looted? Yes, it has. Probably because Nipty's right nearby. But the water around here has a nice colour. It's very dark, which should be quite lovely. We've got this lovely graphic of the leaves falling down. It's pretty nice. It's sort of a very high quality texture even for this texture pack of the Ars Magic 2 Witchwood logs now. So good thing I didn't use that much in the cabin. But this area is pretty nice. And let me see, if I just point myself to the middle of the 3 greatwood trees I can see, then if I clear out a few trees around here, we can have the the well around here. That should be quite nice, I think. So let me just set a waypoint. Let's see if I remember which button it is. Okay, there we are. So marker name. Well of Sadako, because I will be going by the Japanese interpretation, which also gives me a fun opportunity to marker group. Let's call it builds. Just builds. Doop, doop, and doop. Okay, so now we have a marker showing the Well of Sadako. And no, that's not what I want. I want to be pulling all the way back over her winding trip. So put one here. So let's call that Evil Dead Cabin. Builds, 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 builds. Okay. So that gives us a distance that we can work on. 245, 184 versus minus 1057, 88. So we can work out the distance there. We see we've come quite a ways. So that is where we'll be building the new structure. And yeah, as I was saying, it's going to give me a very interesting opportunity, because I wanted to learn more Japanese for quite a while, and maybe I can switch to the Japanese language and we can get a look at this. Which I probably can. I'm not sure if Japanese is in this listing. Italiano. Problem here is I can't read katakana, hiragana, or kanji, so I'm going to take a wild guess and say that that's Japanese, since it falls within the ABC. Language translations may not be 100% accurate. Just give it a second to boot in, because I have to reload a lot of names now. If I can find a language pack which is just written in the Arabic alphabet. Fun fact: the alphabet used by English is Arabic. Influenced by Norse, influenced by Greek and all sorts. We definitely use Arabic numerals, I don't know that much. Kurunawek from Cornwall. I always thought my Cornwall had its own language. Bizarre. Yeah, I'm going to be abandoning a lot of my stuff back at the old cabin. Just a large portion of it was built as decoration. I will be bringing the resources over. I have a pair of ender chests with their own codes, and a couple of item translocators, which are a thing from their own mod, which were made, I believe, for a mod jam a while back. Still waiting for this language to update. Wow. Well, I suppose we do have like 160, 180 mods. Which basically can funnel items through very quickly, but only within a 1x1 block space. So, limited, but very effective. And fairly cheap, actually. Just a piston, a little bit of redstone, a couple of iron, and an ender pearl being the most expensive thing. Yeah, I'll be emptying out that little hidden room that is very much no longer hidden, and filling that in, so that's no longer an issue. I will be keeping the recharging, the right of charging ritual in action there, and all the defensive rights are still going to stay there. So I'll have to build new ones here. But by and large I have the resources to replace anything I have to leave behind, and we're now in a brand new area with brand new mines to do, so that will be fun. And I highly recommend that you maybe not go and watch all the movies, maybe not go and read all of the book material, because there's quite a lot to it, but at least go and look up the synopsis for the original Ring trilogy. You can find out some very interesting things about Sadako. For example, Samara was thrown into the well when she was a very young girl. Sadako was a grown woman, and she was a teenager at least, depending on which interpretation you go by, and one of the very interesting things is she was a hermaphrodite. That doesn't come up very often, but it turns out she was a hermaphrodite when she was thrown down. And there's implications that she had this dark spirit all the time, and was always a dark person, which is more Samara's kind of thing, and implications that there was a secondary side, a sort of parasitic evil twin, if you will. Very fascinating, but apparently this isn't going to come back anytime soon, so I'll cut the episode short, I think. There isn't going to be very much interesting stuff in this episode, now that I'm just going to be starting over more or less from scratch, because I need to build, like, a whole set of stuff here, like an altar and a teleport circle to get to the Evil Dead cabin and back, to bring stuff over and clear out some space, but I hope you're going to enjoy this new build. It's going to be very fun for me, I'm sure, and I shall catch you all next time. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and or a favorite. Follow me on Twitter and subscribe to be notified of future updates. You can also check out the website where most other content is uploaded. That's all for now, catch you later.